They created this prisoner, and then I just became like this guy that just wanted to like live life and experience like staying out late.
Yeah.
Like I remember if I was allowed to go to a friend's house, I had to be back home by like 8 o'clock.
Right.
Like you're 16, bro. How you coming back home at 8 o'clock, bro? People are losing their virginity. It's your boy Southwest Bully. We're at Low-Key is a Vibe, Low-Key MTL. Tap in, baby.
Prochaine station.
LOWKEY MTL.
I grew up in the West Island.
You did grow up in the West Island. Okay, sick.
Born and raised. I'm a Frenchie.
Okay.
Originally, I didn't go to English school. I went to Secondaire des Sources, which is not too far. It's off Lake Road.
Right. That's Centennial Park, right?
Yeah. Right. The lake where there's a huge hill or whatever. Where did it all start?
Like, where area of Montreal did you grow up? Like in the West Island?
I grew up everywhere. I grew up in the West Island. And I left my parents' house at the age of 16.
Okay.
And I moved to Rosemont, like Saint-Michel area. Lived with my sister for like a solid 2-3 months. And she was young too. So I had to like just peace out, figure out life on my own basically. So by the age of 17, I actually had signed up, cause you know, you're 16, you're looking for an apartment. Nobody wants to give you a lease.
For sure,
like you're irresponsible. You're gonna throw parties. You can't even pay rent.
Yeah.
So I applied for a low income home for people under the age of 18. And I ended up at the age of 17, I ended up with one of my boys' girl in Cartierville, Saint Laurent. And then when I got accepted, I moved to Verdun. I did a solid 1.5 years in Verdun. And then by the time I was 18, I came back to the West.
Okay.
So it's like every kid that leaves their parents' house, they kind of come back, try to like make things work with their parents. Didn't work. By 19, I'm out again. And then I just moved on Pavillon in the West Island. So I bounced around a lot. Then from there, I went to Laval, bro.
Yeah, I'm surprised you kind of stayed in the West though. Like usually people kind of go downtown.
Well, I was downtown like maybe a year ago. Like honestly, it's just the West is home. There's nothing like the West. There's nothing like Pierrefonds.
Yeah.
It's just like, think about it. You have your comfort zone, right? So Pierrefonds was always my comfort. That's where all the homies are at. That's where I grew up. That's where I know everyone. Even if you're trying to start a business, it's like your first customers are your friends and family, right?
100%, yeah.
So it just makes, it always made sense. Whether I was in the streets or doing my thing legally with fitness, the customers were always here. But
what caused you to leave at such an early age?
Oh, my father was an alcoholic, still is. And my parents they're old school Haitians, born in the 1950s.
So you're first generation? They grew up, they were born in Haitian?
They're born there.
Oh, okay.
So I'm born here.
Yeah.
My parents actually met here. But yeah, they're born in the 1950s. You could understand the mindset already being immigrants. The way they see things and perceive things is just completely different. Me and my father bumped heads a lot because he was a drunk. And I grew up having a very strong character and being more rebellious. So we got into it at the age of 16. We got into a squabble in the laundry room and I broke his finger and he was like, yo, get the fuck out. And my sister had moved out at a young age too because she got caught with a boyfriend. So it's like that immigrant mentality. Like you can't have a boyfriend, you got to go to school, this, that.
It's similar for like Sri Lankans too. Like I've heard a lot of
okay, so Sri Lankans, so you understand it. They have this mentality of like, yo, like I didn't finish high school. I still don't have my high school. So it's like I was really bad in school and all I have 3 sisters, they went to private school. Sainte-Marceline, Bourget, and Beaubois, I think.
Oh shit, so they went to private school.
So my parents being the youngest, the last, and the boy, they're like, they expected me to go to private school, but I ended up in Des Sources. Back in the days, Des Sources was like in the French schools. After Dorval Jean 23, it was one of those like messed up schools. Gang culture was big, everything was big. So I was always a troublemaker.
How old are you?
I'm 29 now, going on 30.
So that was like Riverdale, like beef times. Like,
Riverdale, yes, Riverdale. The Lankans were serious in Riverdale, back in my day, So, I left and it was just like, it was a toxic environment at home and being born in North America, being born in Canada, you go to school and the white boy, like his dad goes biking with him and their parents go on fishing trips and you're getting smacked and being called a piece of shit. Yeah.
All that shit,
So I was like, nah, this doesn't work. And because I had that rebellious side and the Quebec culture where people move out super young, I just took my risk and it was a great decision, I find.
Yeah, 100%. So you're moving at such a young age. Are you still like kind of, do you have that like naive confidence at that point where you're like, oh, I can figure this out, or are you kind of like nervous about it?
Bro, I was insecure as shit.
Okay.
Insecure as shit, but at the same time, it was like my parents I remember from the age of 12 to 16, I was locked in my basement. My parents actually, they got the floor done in the garage to make it seem like a room, and they locked me in there. And then one of my uncles from the States sent me like a PS1 or I don't know what it was, like a game console at the time, because at 12, I got caught for shoplifting at Fairview. So when I got caught for shoplifting, my parents beat the shit out of me, locked me in, didn't want me to see no friends. So from 12 to 16, I was in a little prison. So imagine from 12 to 16, you go biking, you go to soccer games, you go to football games, you're playing sports, but I wasn't. And that's where my parents messed up. They created this prisoner, and then I just became like this guy that just wanted to like live life and experience like staying out late. Like I remember if I was allowed to go to a friend's house, I had to be back home by like 8 o'clock.
Right.
Like you're 16, bro. How are you coming back home at 8 o'clock, bro? People are losing their virginity, right? So when I got out, the confidence, it's not that I was confident. I was very insecure of like taking life on my own, but I was hungry to try and like, so I got into some very, very messed up things because I was just like so curious about things in life. So.
Right. So do you have like a squad of friends while this is happening, or are you meeting people after you moved out?
Yeah, I guess I had a squad of friends. Yeah, for sure. I had like I've never been the type, and even till this day, I'm an extrovert, but I'm very introverted.
Yeah.
So my squad, and I was popular in school, but my squad of friends was more like my hood dudes, like the dudes that I grew up with, like guys that were into the same things as me. Like when I was a kid, I was growing up as a Crip in the West Island. It was big. Like the Crips are big here. So back then it's just like I had my dudes, and it was like more like my gang. But I was always a lone wolf. Like I didn't go to the club, I didn't go to parties, like house parties, yes, but yeah, when I was going through these things, I had my friends, but some of them were older, right?
Yeah.
So they're already out of their house. They already have their little traps houses and their little apartments. So it was just like,
and you're kind of like modeling like after them. Right?
100%. I didn't have a father figure. So all the OGs, all the bigger dudes, I was just like, yo, I want to be like that. Like girls are coming to your crib. You could stay up all night, have people over. So, and I was the first one in my like group of friends in high school, because I had like my dudes, and then I had my people that I went to high school with. Like my high school sweetheart and her brother and her friends. And like I was the first one in an apartment. So everybody's coming to my crib. Everyone, it's like that's the chill spot where there's no parents. You can do whatever you want. So yeah.
So you're moving around, and eventually like was there anything in between that like led to the whole, like, because now you're basically an entrepreneur and you have your own brand and everything.
Yeah.
So like what, like kind of like a build up to that, like what brought you there?
Well,
it was like a milestone in like from that time to like when you opened up your first
at the age of 21, I got locked up for possession of a prohibited firearm. Okay. And that's what I have tattooed on my hand. It's a 22.
Okay.
Long story short, I was dating someone and we were in a really, really long-term relationship. High school sweetheart, basically.
Yeah.
Like love of my life back then.
That's your first love.
Yeah, first love. You know what first love is? It's like, yo, it's always that toxic, profound appreciation for each other. And I was young. I was hurt by my family situation. I was deeply in love, and I was seeking family through that person. So she came from a good home. Parents were together. Everything was cool. So it's like, I felt like I could find the answers through that person. And now that I'm an older person and I have kids and everything, I realize how like, yo, it's crazy how your mind can be twisted. But
like since you've been through all that, you could like gauge all that now. You know
100%. Yo, that I had to go through that to be the person I am today. Like you see my brand and everything. If I didn't go through that, I wouldn't be shit. So whatever, long story short, I had done something very foul to her and kept it away from her for like 2 years. And I'm someone with a guilty conscience. What you see on the ground, me being super raw and honest, I'm the same way in life. So if ever I held a lie, which was the last lie I ever held in my guilty conscience, was back then when I was 21, I had cheated on her and I needed to be honest about it because I really cared about the person. And it was eating me up inside to the point where bro, I was using, I was drinking, I was smoking, I was popping ecstasy. I was in all types of things, gang wars and beefs and like whatever. So I wanted to end it all. And one night, like we just got into an argument and I took my pistol, put it to my head, and she pushed it away. And the gun went off, and that's when the neighbors are like, yo, like we heard a gunshot. Like, we're in the West. So
the gun went off. Like,
yeah, the gun went off.
Okay.
But I didn't get hit,
Yeah.
but she got hit. So
Okay.
she got hit in her arm. She's okay till this day. Not too long ago, we were still in contact. I don't know where she's at. I wish her the best, but yeah, that changed my life because I was so in love with this girl. So it's like, I almost lost my life being super impulsive and in the moments of the emotions and like using all the adversity. Instead of being resilient, I was like ready to end it all. And she risked her life to keep me here. So God bless her soul. I thank her for that. But that was just a wake up call. I almost killed the love of my life and I almost killed myself. So I went to jail, and luckily the Quebec system, like honestly, you get a slap on the wrist. That's why it was like, it was so.
Was this before you were 18 or after you were 18?
I was 21.
Okay.
So for me, it was just like, it made sense. It was like, okay, I went to jail. I'm getting off of this as a suicide attempt and just possession of a prohibited firearm. So there's nothing gang affiliated. They're not asking me questions about who were you with? Why did you have a gun? And it was just like, shit, this guy like tried to kill himself. And
so there's like mental health attached to that.
almost, yeah. Obviously I'm black. They were like, they wanted to know who gave me a piece, but it's like, yo, I'm not gonna go and risk my life and tell you who gave me a piece, and then I'm dead in the streets, right?
Yeah. Did you have to get a lawyer and stuff for that?
Yeah, 100%. It was $5,000 just to open the file, and then it was $500 an hour every time we go to court.
Fuck. Yeah.
It's worth it. I'm here today, right?
Yeah.
I paid every cent. Like some of my homies that were good people to me, still good people to me this day, helped me out in that situation. That's family, right? But yeah, it was just like I was in jail, and I remember seeing like, because when you go to jail, there's like the president of the wing, there's a committee and whatever, and like I got in there and I'm asking dudes, I'm like, yo, what am I looking at? Like, whatever. And they're like, yo, you're looking at least 2 years. Oh, you're looking at 3 to 5. And like, everybody's like, yo, you're gone, bro. Like, don't even think about fighting this. And then there was this one dude. He was a boss of the Mohawks. So the reserve, like Chateauguay and whatever.
Yeah.
And his thing was he would buy stolen trailers with like plasma TVs and like laptops. And then he had a store and he would just sell everything, like stolen goods.
Off the track,
He got booked. And he was talking to me, and when he saw me, he's like, yo, I shared a cell with my son when he was your age. Listen to me. You have an amazing body. You're doing something else besides what you were doing at the time. Like, you're trying to become a trainer. And at that time, I started my certification. It's like, you're trying to become a trainer. If you think you got guns, I got guns. If I go to the West Island in the YMCA and I don't see you training people, I'm gonna show you what's a gun. And to me, it was just like, yo, I always thought going to jail, people were trying to recruit me and make me do this and do that, even though I was already affiliated to something. But they were more like, yo, you're a youngin', don't stay here because there's nothing left. Like, you made it to rehab, because I went to rehab. They're like, you're in prison, next is rehab. You go back to that shit, the next thing is death. Like, you already crossed out 2.
Yeah. No, it's blessed that they're at least like.
Yeah, bro, I was really lucky. There was like two groups of guys, but that guy Gabby, he really like changed my life. He was an old man. He was like approaching his 50s. Yo, you're 50 and you shared a cell with your son, bro. That's like, it's mental, right?
Yeah, it's mindfuck for sure.
So yeah, bro.
So
that was like
so now you're like, as soon as you come out, you're like just fully like tunnel vision towards being a trainer now.
Yeah, so I had 2 years of conditions. I had to prove like I was doing piss tests. Like, I was very well. How can I say? Like, it was hard for me to fuck up. If you really valued your life and knew you had a potential, like, I had to do piss tests. So I couldn't smoke. I couldn't drink. It was some of my conditions. I had to go to rehab every week. If I went to rehab, it's like they made me piss in a cup randomly. So it's like I had no space to fuck up.
Yeah.
It's
easier to just stay clean at that point. Yeah.
Exactly. And I almost lost the love of my life. And she stayed with me for 3 years after that.
Oh, okay.
So it's like, and our relationship was good after that. Like, all the toxic, like, and that's when I realized like substance was just like, it made me wild. I'd punch holes in the wall. I get super aggressive. Like, it was really bad. And at that point, it's like, I started my business. And then I was just like, I had that fear of going back to jail, because it wasn't the fear of being in jail. Like, you go to a prison in Montreal, like, if you're with the right people when you're outside, when you're inside, you're living like a king.
Yeah.
So it's like, I was good in there, but it was more the fact that yo, they just stripped my freedom. I don't know what time it is. I remember seeing the Jeep going around to see if anybody's tossing anything over the gates.
Where
it's like,
is this? Which one did you go to?
RDP. I went to RDP and Bordeaux.
Okay, how is it inside? Like, what's the vibe in there? Like, what is it? Like, what's your day to day in the South?
Well, I was in the S3 camping. So the jail was overpopulated.
Yeah.
So we were like in a camping. It was like a big gym.
Okay.
Everybody was sleeping on mattresses and whatever.
Okay.
And it's grimy, bro, but it's not all bad. Like, you're watching TV, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Like, at one point you start talking to dudes and like you're smoking cigarettes. Somebody got fucking weed in their ass and you're smoking weed. Like, it's chill. It's like, I think, and I've never been there, but I have homies that have, but it's like when you go to maximum prison and whatever, when you go to the penitentiary, so you got federal prison, like RDP, Bordeaux and whatever, those are 2 years, like 2 years and under. And then you got max where it's 2 years and up. So like where you're really like,
that's
well,
like
not max, like federal prison.
Yeah.
Where you're going in for a long stretch, right?
Yeah.
So those, I don't know how it is, but federal, bro, I'd like to say it's a joke. It's like, if you're about that life, it's a joke.
And it's like, it's all ages in there?
Yeah.
Okay.
You got hobos, like in the winter, hobos are swarming in there because they don't want to stay outside.
Yeah, true.
So they're just trying to get clipped for shit. So they have like food, a shelter, and like they can chill. So that's like, I remember one thing that was really gross is that I was at Bordeaux and that's the one on Gouin. And I used to do weekends. So at the end of my sentence, after showing them that I started a business and everything, they're like, okay, we're not going to throw you inside. You're just going to do weekends now. So I would turn myself in on the weekends. And there was a hobo that was there. And at one point, he's in a wheelchair, right? So we're all in the cell and we're chilling, whatever. And then someone's like, yo, what the fuck? And he has bed bugs crawling all over. And they're getting jacked because they're sucking his blood.
Yeah.
And that's when I was like, oh, hell fucking no.
Nah, there's bed bugs there?
Yeah, bed bugs, bro, like all over. And he was just like, everybody's like, yo, you're fucking disgusting. Guard, get this guy out. And he's just like, I don't give a fuck. Like, no one's gonna beat you up.
Yeah.
You got a bunch of bed bugs, but it was just like, that's the type of shit you could see in there. But
yeah, bed bugs spread so easily too.
Easily, so like, bro, easily. Everybody was like, yo, what the fuck? Hold that.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was an experience, bro.
Yeah.
It was enough for me to be like, I don't need to praise that I did time and I got a gun charge or whatever. Like, it's not cool. To me, at that point, I was like, oh shit, this shit is not cool. Like,
so that's when it just all like flipped kind of thing.
Yeah, it flipped the minute I got caught. So when I was 21 and like, I remember we're going to Lakeshore Hospital and like, she's getting stitched up and I'm in the other room. They're checking if I'm good. And like, I'm looking at her and I'm telling her like across the room, I'm like, I'm sorry. And I just realized like, yo, you just lost it. Like, you gotta change. Especially if you want to be with that girl, you gotta change. So it was automatic, bro. My change was so like, and I'm an extremist, right? If I put my mind to something, I'm going all the way. So it's like, I fully changed, but it was to the point where for her, I don't want to say that she liked the whole bad boy act or whatever. Back then she wasn't a big fan of it, but I changed so much that like, I wasn't in the hood no more. I wasn't on the block.
You're a different person.
I was a different person. Like, I still embrace where I come from and I'm still good with the same niggas I came up with. Like the real ones that I came up with. But at the same time, it's like, bro, I knew I wanted a family one day. I knew I wanted to be a business owner one day because I can't be told what to do. So it was just like, when you're leveling up, you got to cut people off. Yeah. And like, between
you grow out of some people.
There you go. You grow out of people. And that's basically what happened. So yeah.
So when you're opening up that first gym, was it an easy process? Because like you're new to business, so like how are you learning how to run a business?
Oh, I'm dead. Well, the first gym,
like new to like legal, legit business.
Yeah, no, 100%.
You gotta learn all those rules now, you know?
Well, yo, bro, to be honest with you, I'm still learning them now.
Okay.
Dead ass. Like, and that's the type, I think those are the people that are successful in business. Like, you could go to John Molson all you want and fucking study finance all you want.
I was at John Molson.
Yeah, go tell me.
Before I like legitimately got into John Molson, I somehow finessed my way into an association and became president of the association.
What?
And I would go to these events and I would just realize that everybody's just talking out of their ass and just like kind of faking it till you make it.
There
kind of
you go. And that's what it is.
That's when I realized, and I dropped out, and then I really went into like videography and all that shit.
And you did your own thing.
Yeah, and
100%.
now I recently just got a job for Lightspeed, which is like a tech company. And
jeez, congrats.
Yeah,
like, that's dope.
That's when I realized, I'm like, bro, like sometimes you gotta trust your gut. And say,
bro, I believe in, and Andy Frisella says it. He's like
Andy Frisella.
Yeah,
not a lot of people know about him.
No,
yeah,
but like you gotta be great. Like you gotta be about that life to know him.
Yeah,
but the people with no resources are the most successful because they have to figure out how to gain resources. They have to create their own resources, become their own resources. then you got the people that it's been handed to them, or they go to John Molson, and then now it's like mommy paid for you to get in, and then now you got your diploma, and now you're getting into these companies. They don't really know what to do when shit hits the fan, or when you really need to build something of your own.
Yeah.
That's what I think, and that's what I've seen too. Like, I'll get people like kinesiologists and all these people applying at my gym, and it's like, they don't really know what to do, bro.
Yeah, there's like a certain level of like, I guess like not common sense. I would say like, I guess street knowledge, like
street knowledge, but it's also the beauty of the knowledge behind mistakes.
Yeah.
Like my first gym, I opened up, it was on St. John's, and I partnered up with guys in Toronto. So at one point, the whole story of my high school sweetheart, it was on and off we were on and off after the event. So I got locked up in 2013. We were on and off for a solid, like what? Like 7 years almost. Like recently, like I think 2019 is where it was like the last time we tried to get together. Since we started dating when we were 15, and it was on and off. Yeah. So at one point when I was like 22, 23, I'm like, yo, I don't talk to my family. I have no connection with my mom, no connection with my dad. I don't really talk to my 3 sisters. I'm like, I lost the girl of my dreams at that time. So I'm like, yo, let me move out of Montreal. What the fuck am I doing here? I could literally get up. I have no kids, nothing. I could get up and leave. Yeah. So I went to Toronto, and I wanted to partner up with a business down there and just like start picking up clients. I wasn't even thinking about opening up a gym.
Where in Toronto?
Sorry?
Where in Toronto?
I didn't live, but I went down to, it was just the GTA area, like downtown.
Okay.
So I linked up with a gym down there, and it was guys that I was very inspired by, and I learned a lot from.
How'd you connect with them? Sorry.
Oh, Instagram.
Oh, sick. Okay.
Yeah, Instagram. It was when I was really into calisthenics and everything. The calisthenics community back then was huge. Like 2015, 2016, it was huge. So I went down there, linked up with them, and they're like, yo, you know what? We're trying to expand in Montreal. And it had been a few times where they were trying to expand in Montreal. They're like, yo, you have a huge clientele. Like I had like over 60 clients in total. Like I had like 30 downtown, 30 in the West. I was sun up to sundown grinding with clients, like to the point where I was young. That's why I was able to do it. But like, it was really unhealthy. So at one point they're like, yo, go to the West. Don't leave Montreal. Build a team. And that's when I met Kadeem. Build a team and start getting trainers and like start spreading your clients. So the first gym I opened up, I partnered up, but they sold me this dream of, and that's why I won't say their name, but they sold me this whole dream of like, yo, you're going to be an owner, give us 15K and yo, you're good. So me as a kid, I'm 24, I'm hungry, bro. I don't have that many bills.
Just 15K one time for a franchise?
It wasn't a franchise. They literally wanted me to just, like I was going to become one of the owners. So they only had they had opened up a second gym in Saga, and then they were about to open in Montreal.
So you're like a partner.
It was just a partnership. It was like, yo, you're going to be a boss of that gym and you're going to earn a percentage from that gym. So I go to a meeting and they're like, yo, boom, you just got to drop 15 bands to let us know that you're serious. So I dropped the first 6. Once I dropped the first 6, they're not talking to me about the other 9. They're not talking to me like, yo, come and put that money in, whatever. They're just like, yo, let's open up now. Now that I've opened up over 2 gyms, 2-3 gyms, I know what it takes to start a gym. With 7 G's, you could open up a gym. Especially if you're not trying to get new equipment and whatever. If you're starting with the gritty bottom of the bottom, like now I have a boxing ring. Just a boxing ring is like 12K, right? But
like a used gym, you're saying would be like 7K.
Yeah, a used gym. Like you get just a space and like, you get some dumbbells, some racks, like
squat rack.
Everybody opened up a gym in there, and during the pandemic, everybody had a little gym. It's the same thing.
Yeah.
So, at that point,
so you realized?
It made me realize I dropped to 6K. And then after, at one point, energy starts changing. People start talking different. And I signed that contract without looking, because I was just I got little broed.
Yeah.
Like I was 24, bro. What do you know about business?
Yeah, and you're excited.
They're just like, yo, how do you feel now? You're a business owner. Yo, you're the guy in the West. And I was the guy in the West. Like I was at Monster. Everybody was wearing a Bully by Nature shirt. When I opened up the gym, it's like, yo, Jay opened up a gym. Like what the fuck? Who does that at 24? And then after that, I'm like, yo, let me go over this contract, because these guys are acting funny. And then I read in small fine print, you are nor a partner, owner, or I forgot what it was, the third thing, but it just said in a little print that this shit ain't yours. Like, so I'm like, what the fuck did I do with my 6 G's?
Yeah.
And then that's when I realized, oh, I got fucked over.
So what is the 6 G's for the brand?
It was to invest. Into the dumbbell racks, the floors.
So like the brand and name is all yours. Okay,
the brand and name was just, bro, it wasn't all mine. It was just like, yo, you're now an owner with us. Like, let's say tomorrow we start a company. We started it together. The only difference is that I didn't have to do the 9 years with you guys because I was putting up 15 bands to open up the gym with you guys.
Right.
And then I was running the whole operation. So at that point, why do I even need to buy, like, I'm a part of this shit.
Yeah.
And that's what was sold to me as a little kid. And I fell for it. And
did you ever like go back to them and talk about it, or you just
no, I was just like, yo, I want out, and they did it respectfully.
Okay.
And it wasn't on bad blood. And then I just learned from that situation. And that's when I had to partner up with another guy that had a gym, and like his brand was just flop. Nobody was coming through the doors. And the minute I brought my team and my energy, bro, the place was packed. And then it created envy. So at that point, I'm just like, yo, I'm tired of all these niggas like being jealous and creating envy and using me. So I'm like, fuck it. I gotta work towards and manifest opening up the first Bully by Nature gym. And someone hit me up and he's like, yo, you trying to expand? I'm like, yeah, 100%. And then that's when I found Soccerplex Catalonia.
Okay.
The guy went bankrupt. It was full of equipment. Everything was there. I dropped 7 Gs and I opened up that space.
And this guy just hit you up because he knew you were in the like.
Yeah, he was like a homie of a homie, and like he was in commercial real estate.
Okay, safe.
So he's like, yo, I got a spot for you right now, bro. And I know you're the only one that could kill it. Bro, we bodied that year, like, to the point that we were able to open up a second gym. And that's when we came back to the West. Because initially we were in the West, but under somebody else's brand, and then came back and opened up in the West. But yeah, so the first time I opened up a gym, I got fucked over, learned from that. But, you know, people are all trying to do things straight, and like, but if you take too much time, you're like, and especially if you don't fail, then you won't learn much. So I'm really big on like, yo, just taking a risk.
Yeah, instead of overthinking.
Yeah, instead of overthinking, I'm like, okay, cool. At that point, I remember people were telling me like, yo, don't partner up. Yo, they could fuck you over. I'm like, but I'm 24. If I mess up at 24, bro, I'm still young. And then by 20, how old was I? I think I was like 26, 27. 27 when
that was
I
still
opened
your,
up.
like when you were 24, that was your thought process? You're like, it's okay if I fuck up? Okay, so that's really like, I'll take the risk now.
I'll take the risk now. 26, I opened up. Yeah, I turned 27 while we were there, yeah. 26, I opened up in Lachine.
So what's like kind of molding your like grit and your grind and your like motivation? Are you like looking at like other creators like Andy Frisella type shit back then? Or like,
no.
Is there somebody like that's talking to you? Do you have like a mentor at that point?
No, like, honestly, the guys from Toronto, I did look up to them, and like he had a similar story as me. Like the head guy, he had went to jail, and like, yo, he turned his life around, and yo, his shit is huge. So this day it's blowing up. It's in LA, it's everywhere. But
yeah, Toronto's also like getting on the map now and stuff too, right?
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
So it's big.
No, it was really like, bro, it's what I went through as a kid that it was just instilled in me. It was natural. It's like, yo, you're 16, you gotta put food on the table, get a roof over your head, or you're sleeping in bus stops and like people's couches, and like it's whack. And at one point it was just like, I just grind and I just want things like naturally. So, but now it's like when I listen to these guys, because think about it, if you're thinking this way, not everybody, like how many guys do you know that left their house when they were 16 and had to figure it out? So the conversation is completely different from the 16-year-old that their parents are still giving them money to go to Fairview and like helping them out with their first car or whatever.
Yeah, you're not trying to survive. Yeah.
I was on survival mode. Yeah. So it's like, once I started discovering guys like Andy Frisella, 19 Keys, all these people that like really preach like resilience, work hard, like fuck a day off, this, that. I was like, oh shit, I'm not crazy. Because everyone was like, yo, calm down. You don't need to do all this. Yo, like you're working too hard. You're doing too much. But like, nah, it's because you don't want more for yourself.
Yeah, they just don't have the same vision. And like when you're in a small city, it's rare that you find people like that. That's why it's sick that like the internet allows you to like connect with people.
Like, yeah, I'm done with Montreal, bro. I'm in fucking not too long. I'm out of here, bro. I'm not gonna say exactly where I'm going, but I got different plans, bro.
Is Montreal cut off for forever? Or
no. Okay. Like I got my boys holding down Montreal. Bully by Nature will forever be in Montreal. We're never leaving. It's just that like I'm not thinking about keeping Bully by Nature only in Montreal. Especially like the way the city is. It's like you said, it's a small city and like.
Yeah, how is it running a business in Montreal? Like, do you have experience running a business like elsewhere besides
No, I've only ran my business in Montreal. No, I've never ran a business elsewhere, and that's what I'm striving for. I want that challenge.
Yeah.
Like I want to make mistakes elsewhere and learn from it and be like, okay, now I know how to do this. Okay, let's run it.
Are you thinking the States?
100%.
Yeah.
100%.
I feel like the States is where it's at. Yeah. And I feel like there's way more like.
There's way more opportunities.
And
yo, you've never heard of the Canadian dream. It's the American dream. Exactly. I tell that to everyone that's like, yo, what's your next move? I'm like, the American dream. I'm not trying to like stay here, especially with COVID. I lost 2 years, bro. 2 years of like demolishing the game and having maybe 4 gyms. And like now we have the gym and the barbershop. Like we kind of pivoted our business and it works. And I was trying to lean more towards a lifestyle brand than just a fitness brand. Cause there's more to life than fitness. So,
Have you thought of putting content online?
I was big on content, but then COVID kind of fucked with my like confidence. I became very insecure. COVID, like, and that's the thing. It's that I was putting out so much content, so much motivational content, cinematic content. And then at one point it's like, Southwest Bully was Bully by nature. It's almost like I didn't have another identity besides the gym and the business. So COVID hits and I can't train people. I can't open up my gym. I can't walk in and see like 12 trainers on the floor running their business and I'm the boss. Like, nah, it was like, yo, who are you? So, I became mad insecure, bro. And I went through a couple of things like during the pandemic that kind of played with my mental health.
Did you but did you get anything out of it? Because a lot of people got like some stuff out of COVID.
100%, bro. I went to therapy. That's what I got out of it. Okay, I had time to go and assess what's going on. And also I had time to like really revamp the business the way we wanted to. Like I said, we lean more towards the lifestyle. So we have the barbershop, the gym. We really maximize that one space instead of having 2 spaces that were exactly the same. So now, like with the next move I'm about to make, like leaving the province, leaving the country, I'm launching a YouTube channel. I'm going to come back and talk to the camera and share my experience because I felt like I hit a plateau of knowledge and wisdom in life. And in the pandemic, what I got from it is new knowledge and wisdom. So new things to share to people that I overcame that now could help people overcome their shit. Because it was always about like, Bully by nature means step into a room with an imposing impression, but the purest intentions. So it's like, we're very intimidating, like face tats, like we look very imposing. The way we hustle, it's very like in your face. Like there's nobody doing it like us in the city, but the intentions are pure. Like when you get to sit down with someone from Bully by Nature or when you fall on the page, like I'm not talking to you about like, yo, dude, my bicep and my chest is like swole. No, I'm telling you like, yo, tap into that adversity, that thing that you thought you were never going to overcome. You overcame it. You're breathing right now. So put that same energy, that same fuel, use that dark time as motivation. So like now I feel like I could come and put out that content. But COVID, honestly, it knocked all the confidence, all the wisdom, not the wisdom out, but just it made me introverted to another level. And I think that happened to a lot of people. Like, bro, they forced us to stay inside, not really talk, wear a mask. So
it was also such a confusing time because nobody knew what was going on. Nobody knew what to trust, you know? It was hard to even like do your own research and figure out what's going on.
100%, bro. It was very confusing. So I didn't know where to go. And now like the vision is clear. So I'll be dropping some fire content.
Okay, dope. Yeah, I feel like you would kill it on YouTube. Like,
everybody's telling me that. YouTube, TikTok, like TikTok, I don't understand it. I feel old at this point.
So basically TikTok is just like a more bite-sized version of YouTube.
Okay, yeah.
That's how I see it. And then also YouTube started YouTube Shorts.
For real?
Yeah. So
it's true. Yeah. I do see the
YouTube Shorts. That's because of TikTok. Because TikTok is really like taking their viewership
biting their swag.
So they're like, yo, like, you gotta do something about this. You know?
That's crazy. Yeah. But I'm really like 100% like in the next 2 weeks, because I'm planning on leaving in 2 weeks, but in the next 2 weeks, like there's gonna be a lot of content. It's gonna be consistent. It's because now also I'm taking a big leap in my life where I'm like, I felt like it was just like irrelevant to talk about like, hey, I'm a gym owner in Montreal, like everybody else, and I'm a trainer like everyone else.
Yeah, like you see it that way. But one of the reasons why I started this whole thing is so people could see like this story and like someone from Montreal could be like, oh, like this guy's from Montreal and he did this. Like obviously I could, because I didn't have that. Them, like I was like, yo, what the fuck are you supposed to do? Especially like I'm first generation. Yeah. So I can go to my parents and be like, how do I start a business? You know?
Okay,
things like that. So I was like, there's so much like talent in Montreal too, and the city is like so rich in culture.
100%.
And like it's crazy that we don't have a huge digital presence on YouTube. Like you don't see a lot of like
Because I feel like people are very
Montreal
small.
content.
Like people are not thinking further past their nose. Like it's just like,
yeah.
okay, like yo, I got the Mercedes. I go to fucking Moomba or whatever clubs are popping right now, and it's like, yo, I made it. I got Gucci shoes. I made it.
Yeah.
You know, it's like it's
And
a cloud city. That's the only thing.
It's
That's
a
why
cloud city. Yeah, that's true.
it's very
But
cloud.
most like popular cities are like that. Like LA is big for that. Toronto too. And that, if you go
But Toronto, no, bro.
No?
You go to Toronto, people, yo, bro, I've done business. I have a lot of friends in Toronto. I work with an agency. Like I'm signed with Everlast Canada, and like everything is from Toronto. And the energy, the resilience and the hard work that Toronto mans and Toronto women put in.
Yeah.
Bro,
They're on the
it's
grind,
big.
that's for sure. Yeah.
It's not like Montreal. Montreal, it's like, first of all, we're majority a student city.
Mm-hmm.
So everyone's swimming into fucking studies, like overwhelmed with midterms and exams. So what happens? Friday, you're not thinking about starting a business. You want to go turn up at fucking Suba and talk about you smashing the same fucking person that everybody smashed, and like, there's no like moving further than that. That's what I think. That's my perspective.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I've seen. Especially being the guy that like, yo, I wake up at 4 a.m. I'm grinding. Like I look like an alien to everyone.
Mm-hmm.
You understand what I mean?
Yeah,
so
it's like hard to relate with people.
It's
like
hard to
that,
relate,
I
and I
guess,
feel like people are just content here.
Mm-hmm.
It's not their fault. It's just like, yo, that's the aura. So at one point, it's like you're gonna plateau. Like, what else do you want me to do as an entrepreneur here? I opened up a gym. I built a team. At one point I had 17 trainers, 2 gyms. I've motivated so many people, and I'm gonna keep doing that because that's the purpose. But what else is there to do in Montreal?
It's true. Yeah, you don't have to always just stay here. That's true. Yeah.
It's just but just didn't think about it. In terms of being an entrepreneur, yeah, you could open up more businesses. Okay, I'm gonna pay more taxes.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get shut down even more because they're gonna do this pandemic thing a few more times.
Yeah.
And like, nah, bro, I need to branch out where like opportunity lives.
Mm-hmm.
Like whether it's London, whether it's Miami, whether it's LA, wherever it is, it's like, and I feel like people like, they're okay if they hit that plateau where it's like, okay, I got a nice car, I got money in my bank account, I'm invested in this and that. Like
they're just comfortable. Yeah.
they're comfortable, bro. I'm not trying to be comfortable.
Yeah. So I was gonna ask you, like, did COVID allow you to make your business like COVID proof in the future? But I guess if you move to like Miami or Texas or something, like you could definitely COVID proof a gym business.
Exactly. That's why I need to leave, because I still have that hunger. Like the whole virtual thing, I'm not a fan.
Yeah, no.
I've done the whole live workouts and like the challenges, and like I love what it brings to people, but at the same time, it's like there's nothing like, yo, you walk at Bully by Nature in the West and like, yo, you feel a vibe. There's a barbershop, there's people training, there's guys in the ring, there's girls squatting, and like it's a little community. It's a private facility, appointments only, so you know everybody. Same person you saw last week, you're gonna see them this week. You could talk about crypto, you could talk about this, you could talk about that. It's like, it's a community. You don't get that online. I'm all about the online coaching where I could send you a program and we talk and like whatever, that's dope. But
as a business owner, like that's a part of your business too. Like you should not do it.
Yeah, no, exactly. I have no choice to do it in a sense if I want to make a living. But at the same time, it's like, I don't believe in doing things just to make a living. I'm passionate. I'm a passionate person. So if I'm not fully invested in something, people are going to feel it. Which is why, like, yo, everybody was doing lives. We started doing lives at first because it felt like that was the thing to do. But then everyone was doing lives, and it was just like, bro,
saturated.
I don't like that. Not that it's saturated. It's just like, yo, I don't feel happy doing this.
Yeah, you're also like, you're not seeing like people like face to face, like you said, like this different energy. Like when you go to like
when
Monster
someone
Gym,
hits a PR or like someone had a long day at work or has a dysfunctional relationship, and that client comes in and you push them just that little bit that just shifts their whole perspective and their whole day, bro, that's money. You make a girl that's super insecure about herself leave your gym thinking she's the hottest shit in town, bro, that's amazing. You make that guy that's like super insecure about talking to girls or like just feeling strong, or that kid that's getting bullied, and just with that one session, you've changed their perspective and you made them feel better about themselves. Bro, you just prevented someone from killing themselves or thinking of killing themselves in the future. You've just prevented someone of thinking that they won't make it in their next goal or challenge. Like, it's different.
Sometimes you just gotta like have that random interaction where like your whole like mindset just changes. You're like, it's like a door opens and you're like, fuck, 100%. I didn't see it this way. Like, what the fuck, you know?
But the thing in the fitness industry and having a gym, it's not random. It's
It's all the time.
consistent.
Exactly.
It's
Yeah.
every
Especially
week.
with your kind of like your style of it. That's what I really appreciate. Is like your style of it is like a form of mentorship. You know.
100%,
Yeah.
bro. That's what it is.
Something
I just
dope.
wanted to become the person that I didn't have when I was 16, going through all this bullshit.
100%, yeah.
Like to everyone, I was the villain in the story. Like especially the story I was telling you about the gun and everything.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
like it's easy to paint me as the villain, but bro, I was a broken little boy. I wish I had a mentor to tell me like, yo, bro, it's gonna be okay. Just meditate, take your time, get into football, get into lifting weights, get into doing this. Like you get to do that with clients that have this naysaying mindset. They come in and they're like, my life is a mess. I work a 9 to 5 and my husband is this and that. And then you could change their mindset. You could make them think like, oh, maybe I need to like leave this relationship or quit this job or this.
Yeah.
Can't really do that virtually. You got 20 people on the screen. You're like, okay, we're going to do 3 more. And it's like, you don't get anything out of it. So
yeah, it's gimmicky. Yeah, it's true.
yeah, bro.
Yeah, dope. You were talking about crypto. Like, are you into that? Like, are you?
I started.
Okay.
Yo, it's the future too. And like a lot of guys I follow are really pushing it. And I feel like with everything that happened too, like you think about the convoy freezing accounts and everything. I'm like, I need to have like some
there's
decentralized
no middleman.
paper.
There's no middleman. You know?
There's no middleman. And it's like right now it's like, it's new. Like I really want to start understanding NFTs, but
that's what I was gonna ask you about too. For like,
NFTs, like I got a client, he pays me in crypto and like he's teaching me a lot of things. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, I take crypto. Yo, you want to come train with me? You can pay me in crypto. But so I got a few clients that pay me in crypto and everything. So I understand what are the long-term investments, but I'm trying to like really understand like the analysis, like understanding like the high charts, the candles and all that shit, like even stock. Like all these things. Because at the end of the day, I want to create generational wealth, right? And something in the Black community that hasn't been instilled and like taught is financial literacy. So recently, especially having kids, like I have a 4-month-old son and I have a 2-year-old daughter. My parents didn't leave me shit. Once again, going back to when I was 16, trying to figure out, my parents can loan me money. I asked them for a cosign and they're afraid because they filed bankruptcy. So how are they going to help?
They also they don't have like financial education.
They don't have financial literacy. Exactly. So at that point I was like, yo, I'm not letting my kids go through what I went through. So I started with stocks, started understanding stocks. Then I had one of my good boys, shout out to Mains. He got me into crypto and I invested my first piece in the XRP and Ethereum. And then I started investing in Bitcoin and like slowly I'm just like, every week, if I could put money in crypto, I put it. Exactly. So, I'm learning it. I'm very into it. I'm very interested.
So you definitely like figure out how to like create NFT. And, like,
I'm trying to understand that. I'm trying. Now I heard that like I was following something that they said that now YouTube videos are gonna be a form of NFTs.
Yeah. So basically, like I don't even know much about it, but all I know is like most businesses are gonna be using like contracts. Right?
Yeah, that I heard.
So it's just good to like keep an open mind about it so that eventually like when that wave does happen, you're like in it.
Yeah, so that's what I'm just trying to have my feet in. So when shit starts popping, like, so the next thing with the NFTs, like when I heard the YouTube thing, it was perfect. It was divine timing. Like I'm starting my YouTube channel for the first time. I'm going to take it seriously and I have a big journey to show. So I'm like,
just documenting is going to be
and like those motivational pieces that could be used as an NFT. Understand? Like I hear like now the sneaker game, you could buy a sneaker, but you don't really have the sneaker, but because you own the NFT, you own the pair of sneakers. Whenever you want it can get shipped to your house.
Yeah. There's like a whole thing of like, metaverse like architects, so like people that could design spaces in the metaverse, so like virtual spaces. I'm actually entering a project called Galaxy Arena. Okay. So I got some boys out in Greece. They invested a lot of money in like a big arena. So soon we're gonna do the whole metaverse thing. There's gonna be like a metaverse gym. Like there's some crazy shit. Okay, so is it mostly fitness stuff?
Well, it's more like it's gonna be like kind of like a UFC. Ooh, you can check it out. Galaxy Arena. I think it's galaxy.io. on Instagram.
Okay, it's already public? Like there's
it's already public. You guys can go check it. There's already a pre-sale. I don't know if the pre-sale is done for the coins, but there was a pre-sale. So if you jump in, like the metaverse is the next thing. So that's a good investment too.
Yeah, it's dope. Yeah, I have a boy coming on like, I think like next week, and he was doing his thesis for school and he got called to like Vegas to do a whole like speech on NFTs and stuff.
That's crazy.
And he wanted to start the first Black NFT community in Montreal.
So we need that.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
We need that. Whoever that is, give me his digits after,
for sure.
Because we need that. At the end of the day, like I follow this guy called 19 Keys and he's like, he spoke about the BLM movement, so the Black Lives Matter, and he's like, yo, Black Lives Matter was another thing to distract people. And then he's
there's
like,
a lot of like clickbait news stuff.
100%. And he's like, yo, at the end of the day, what people could do instead of just holding up a sign saying Black Lives Matter is, why don't you create a crypto or a coin that Black people could invest in, and it's for Black people.
Yeah.
Or like you said, like your boy. That's why I'm like, yo, let me know who that is.
Yeah, for sure.
Create an NFT communities for Black people, because that's the thing. Rick Ross and Meek Mill were having a conversation, and Meek Mill was like, yo, we got to the millions. The next goal is the billions. Rick Ross responds, we get to 1 billion and we still broke. Because if you look as the history of Black people, there's no financial, like, we're not wealthy people. Like, some Black people are rich, but the system has prevented us of becoming that. So
just like
things
sharing
like
the
that,
knowledge and stuff too, right? Yeah.
things like that are what are gonna shift the culture, shift our communities, and make us better. So I'm looking forward to that. I want to connect with this dude for sure.
Yeah, for sure. Dope. Yeah.
That would be dope.
Yo, I just want to say appreciate you coming on. It was fucking
Thank
dope.
you.
I had
This
a
is
great
dope.
conversation with you, man. I definitely want to come check out your gym too.
Yo, you have to come through, especially before I leave. So come through.
Yeah. When are you leaving?
The goal is March 15th.
Okay.
Trying to change my winter tires and get in the road, bro.
Yeah.
Literally. So March 15th. If all goes well, we're gonna be gone by then.
Okay, dope. Appreciate you coming on, bro.
Thank you, brother. Much love.